I'm Joanne Galloway. I'm the Executive Director for the Center for Change Northern Michigan. I am so excited about our upcoming event. We're going to be hosting the Anatomy of an Election Roadshow. We're going to be traveling across Northern Michigan with several stops. And I'm so excited that we've been able to partner with my brand new friend and best friend, Marie Wicks. I'll let Marie introduce herself.
Hi, I'm Marie Wicks, and I'm also very excited to partner with the Center for Change Northern Michigan to bring to the voters the Anatomy of an Election Roadshow. What I'd like to share about myself and what I bring to the table is that I'm a former East Lansing city clerk. And pursuant to that career, I spent 19 months with the Bureau of Elections traveling around the state, including Northern Lower and the Upper Peninsula, to train county clerks and local city and township clerks in the administration of elections. And for the past 6 elections here in my hometown, I've served as a precinct chair. So I'm really almost a boots on the ground type of person, and I've experienced elections at all levels. And I think one of the most important things that I can share with you is that as a local clerk in 2015, I served on what was called the Joint Evaluation Committee at the Bureau of Elections and was a voting member of the committee that issued an RFP and vetted the 3 election equipment vendors that we have here in the state of Michigan. So I'd really like to be able to share with you everything I've learned from all these different experiences and how all of these things combine and all the efforts that we undertake to contribute to and support integrity of elections in Michigan.
So Marie, one point that I'm really working hard to help people understand is that in Michigan, we no longer have just an election day. I've been calling it election season. So can you just tell us a little bit more about that and help people understand the difference?
Sure. I'm going to take that back to a couple of things, really. First of all, Proposition 2018-3, that was a constitutional amendment initiated by petition. So this means that the people of Michigan put these questions and this issue on the ballot to amend our Constitution. And it affected voting in 3 very significant ways. One is same-day voter registration. The second is the codification of straight party voting that had been litigated and had gone back and forth, but now we are guaranteed that right under the state of Michigan Constitution. But the third is no reason absentee voting. So prior to 2018-3 or the passage of 2018-3, voters had to note a statutory reason why they could not appear in the polls on election day to vote. But now anybody is welcome to use that opportunity. And so that enhanced access, and I think combined with COVID, quite frankly, really encouraged the use
really prepared us for COVID, didn't it?
Encourage the use of absentee voting. And so what we know is that the law requires that ballots be available to voters about 40 days prior to the election, which is rather late this year. That's the other thing I want to note. The election is November 8th. I think we're sort of accustomed to having the election a little earlier, but the law requires that the election take place on the first Tuesday after the first Monday of November. And so we have this really 40-day period when people can get their ballots, they can go into their clerk's office, they can seek them out by mail. They have to, of course, send in a request, and the signature on that request is matched according to what the clerk has on file, either in the qualified voter file or on a MasterCard. And then the voter is able to have their ballot. And I think particularly the notion of election season is important in this upcoming November election, because there are a lot of ballot proposals and folks can take their ballot home and they can research the questions. They don't feel pressured to move through the ballot in a quick fashion. So I myself, back to my work in elections in my hometown of East Lansing, will be working on MSU's campus all of October in 4 different locations between 40 and 50 hours a week, registering students to vote and issuing ballots. So it truly is election season. It's not limited to one day anymore, and that's a good thing. It means that people who can't take time off work, or people who have a physical disability or whatever reason, something comes up at the last minute, they can now vote from home. And it is a safe and secure process. And if you come and hear me speak, I'll talk a little bit more about how safe and secure that process is.
I'm Joanne Galloway. I'm the Executive Director for the Center for Change, Northern Michigan. I want to thank the League of Women Voters of the Eastern Upper Peninsula, the League of Women Voters of Marquette, individual partners in the various communities, and Marie Wicks for joining us for the Anatomy of an Election Roadshow, the first week in October.
Well, thank you, Joanne. I'm really looking forward to participating in this truly, truly important function. I would note this is a nonpartisan forum for information sharing. I hope to share some of my expertise. I'm going to talk about the parts, the players, and the process, maybe for about an hour. And then I'm going to try and answer all your questions. Actually, I am going to answer your questions. And we're going to have a little bit of fun too. So I really, really hope to see you there. And I thank you in advance for your time and attention to this really, really important information. Hope to see you soon. Oh, and Bernard told me to say goodbye, Joanne.
Goodbye, Marie.
I love it.
You don't know